guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back at it on my home turf, and guess what? We got that large and in charge SUV from General Motors Truck Company. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate trim. But before we get into this new color, it's called Frosted Pine Metallic Yukon Denali Ultimate. Let's talk about what's going on here. So as you are aware, hopefully, you've been paying attention that, guess what, for the past few decades, SUVs have been really the hot topic of sales in the auto industry, and these full-size ones have really come into their own. Ever since the Lincoln Navigator made that step into the full-size luxury SUV segment, that's where we saw others fall. Now, a lot of times if you think of General Motors and you want to get a luxury SUV, you would go Cadillac Escalade, the iconic Escalade. But guess what? This GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate is scratching the surface into the world of the Escalade, and it comes at a totally different price point, a lower price point than the Escalade. So what I want to find out is I want to put sister against sister. Which brand should you go with? The GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate or the mighty Cadillac Escalade? Let's dive into our Denali and find out. Right off the bat, I just love the color. It's interesting how greens of all different variety are coming back into the auto industry. And this minty pine green, I don't know, it just seems to work for me on this full-size SUV. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see that classic shape, that C-shape, LED daytime running lamps and turn signals, all LED. You got your LED triple stacked headlights, and then working your way down, you do have LED fog lamps and functional air curtains. Love the black chrome finish. Now, as we come across the grille, no more of that shiny, shiny fuddy-duddy stuff, the kind of stuff that your great-grandfather would want to be behind the wheel of. This is definitely more modern, but it still screams I'm a Denali, and especially a Denali Ultimate. So you're gonna have that dark chrome on the grille. Love the way they did the dark metallic gray finish on the GMC badge. You do have a forward-facing camera. And then working our way down, of course, you're gonna have that dark chrome finish. The one zonk I gotta give it is the fake vent here in the center. I wish that they would have just kept it smooth or actually made it functional, because we do have a big V8 underneath the hood. This one has 4x4, so you're gonna be able to go through all sorts of different terrain, and you have adaptive air ride suspension. But let me know what you think about the signature grille look and that bold look of the Yukon Denali Ultimate compared to the more, for lack of better words, Transformer-esque Cadillac Escalade. Let me know which front end you're liking more right in the comment section right now. Now, as we take the elevator up, like I said, that frosted pine metallic, very, very classy of a color. You got your nice big indentations. Everything else just has a wonderful presence to it. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? Feast your eyes on these 22-inch wheels. I do like the way they put this chrome accent material with the machined aluminum and that dark metallic gray finish. Like I said, 22-inch wheel. Tires are 275 on the width, 50 series sidewall. That's all four corners. No flat black around the fender openings. And I'm gonna have Steven kind of zoom in to show you the adaptive air ride suspension. You can actually see the air ride system up top. This is your upper control arm. Shows you that great technology. And wait until we drive this thing. The ride quality is freaking phenomenal with a capital PH. Now, as we come down the side, you do have a tasteful GMC badge. I wish that they put the word Ultimate here. I don't know why they didn't do that. So that is a zonk. You do have power folding mirrors with our frosted pine color matched 360-degree cameras, a little bit of gloss black. I like the way they smoke out the turn signal lenses. And then you'll notice they went shinier on the chrome with the Denali name. I wish they went dark chrome, especially on that lower trim. If you keep it low, we do have automatic dropping running boards. And then we have this bright, shiny metalwork top and bottom and super silver finish on those roof rails. It's hard for me to zonk it because it still looks so good. If you're gonna give me some dark chrome, give me dark chrome everywhere. Make it cohesive, especially when you hear the price point. This isn't a $25,000 SUV. Now, as we come towards the rear, like I said, the nice large openings. And remember, the shape of everything on a GMC, from the fender openings to the shape of the grille to the shape of the rear of the vehicle, is GMC specific. The chassis, the frame, is the same between this and the Escalade, but the body obviously is all its own. Now, when we come around the rear, look at what we have, or shall I say what we don't have. We don't have an exposed wiper. Tucked in nicely underneath this long roof spoiler. Love the way they do the C shape on the full LED taillights, backup lights, the whole 9 yards. You got your Denali badge, your Yukon badge. Really like the smoke gray finish in the center here. Where's the ultimate? This should have some type of ultimate badge. As we drop down, you are going to get the GM Performance Staggered exhaust. Nice stainless steel tips, quad tip. And then, of course, this cover comes off and you could tow around 7,500 pounds with this muscle machine of a Denali, of a Yukon Denali Ultimate. But why don't we go ahead, speaking of muscle, let's go pop the hood and flex and talk about the numbers underneath that hood. All right, guys, we got that massive hood open. Underneath the hood, no twin turbos, none of that. We have naturally aspirated V8 power. So what do we got? 6.2 liters of V8 goodness, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. It's the same freaking engine from an Escalade, so even Stevens, mano y mano here. 10-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in about 5.9 seconds. Top speed is governed to 112 miles per hour. MPGs, 14 in the city, 18 on the highway. And before you cry me a river, Justin Timberlake, about the MPGs, just remember this vehicle does weigh 6,007 pounds and can tow up to 7,500 pounds. Plus, on top of that, we have the air ride suspension and the magnetic ride suspension. So you're getting all the goodies from the Escalade underneath the hood in all four corners, just like the Escalade. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and hear what a Yukon sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, thank you for discussing this because, you know, I'm on the fence about getting an Escalade. I've seen the prices, and you know what? You're right. I'm digging the look of this Denali Ultimate, but am I going to be digging the price? Very good question. MSRP for this particular one is $101,000. Now, before you freak out, if you've been pricing Escalades, they're more than that, brand new. So something to think about. But why don't we go ahead and see what this Yukon Denali Ultimate brings to the table? To the door panels. Love the soft touch material, the stitching, that's real wood finish, nice dark walnut, a little bit of shiny trim on the interior. I just wish it was a dark chrome finish, that just like on the outside. But that armrest, it's like a Babe Ruth baseball color. The softness is there. It's like somebody oiled it up really nicely over the last 50 years. And I'm digging the crisscross stitching. You do have your Twinkie tray in the center. That is 5 Twinkies you can fit in there. Down below, you can go get your meatball sub, get extra parm, and tell them to throw an extra ball in there for you because there's plenty of room in that door pocket for that, and a large bottle of Fanta, and then of course the Bose premium sound system, 18 speakers. Now going from the door panel to the dash, love the wood. Look at the way they have the geographical mapping, the elevation and everything with the coordinates of Mount Denali. Do you see that? There's the coordinates right there. So you could actually take your Denali to mount Denali. The stitching everywhere. You do have a side pocket. This is where you're going to be able to fit at least 4 corn dogs from the fair. And then come on in, and I know you're probably going to be maybe sad. You don't get a 500-inch screen. You get a 10.3-inch screen. I actually prefer this over the ginormous screen in the Escalade. Unless you're trying to overcompensate for something where you're lacking, and we all know what we're talking about, guys, this screen is perfect. It's integrated nicely. It's got all of the functions that you want, the Google Maps. It's got the great different icons of the different apps to go through. Love the camera quality. I mean, the camera quality in here is fantastic, and you're going to have the same cameras as if you were in an Escalade. And like I said, it's got everything you need possible. And then, of course, we have our push-pull button 10-speed automatic transmission controls. More of that stitching. Love the way we have some real knobs, buttons, dual climate control, heated seats, ventilated seats, of course, heated steering wheel as well. There's more of that walnut. Love this silver trim. This is another nice piece of the ultimate package. Open up door number 1, USB-C, USB-A, 12-volt and wireless charging. Open up door number 2, 2 cup holders. Let's close these doors up. But before I do, I want to show you the GMC key fob. Standard key fob, remote start, which is really nice. Close that up in there. There's more of that baseball glove leather. You got a little place for your phone. Open this up. You could probably fit, I would say, 4 signed baseballs in there. Since we're on this baseball theme for some reason, I've been thinking baseball. But you can put those baseballs in there, especially if you had them signed. And I know some of you are big Jose Canseco fans, even though he injected himself with more steroids, more needles than what they use over at the Tampa General Hospital. But, you know, nobody's perfect. Plus, you got a place in here for 4 Snickers, king-size Snickers. But watch this, I'm not done. Just like Mission Impossible style, you ready? Dun, 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 dun. So you have your power sliding center console. Open this up. Now you got a secret drawer here. And tell me in the comment section, what secret items would you want to put in here? Maybe you're one of those people that never got off, that's kind of weird. Never got over, maybe got off, but never got over your first girlfriend or boyfriend from high school, and you want to hold on to their class ring and maybe some little stupid memento that they gave you. You could keep it in here, nice and close to you. My advice, though, is don't do that, especially if you're married, because that would be extremely weird. And if your significant other finds out, you might not be owning this anymore, because in the divorce settlement, they may be taking it. But just something to think about. If you're going to have secrets, secrets don't make friends, and they don't make for a good relationship. That's some advice from me to you. Seats. Look at the Bose sound system right in the freaking headrest. The piping, ultimate. How do I know? It says it right there with the coordinates. That great crisscross stitching. You have full electric assist for the passenger with massage. Same thing for this guy over here. Got the massage going as we speak. And then we have that ginormous panoramic sunroof, plus digital rear view mirror. But why don't you go ahead, get your butt over here. I want to show you behind the wheel of this Yukon. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. You have the Denali name to welcome you when you come in. You even have a nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle, but the dead pedal is sad. Very sad dead pedal. Fancy floor mat, though, with this nice aluminum tip here. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. You got all your seat controls, including your massage seats. And then guess what? From the side here, you can see just how much room I have. Now, steering wheel, you got the leather, some more of that silver finish. We have Super Cruise. It is an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And of course, we have our whole 4x4 system. You could raise and lower it, the air suspension, and you got your different modes. And then we have that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Really love the ambient lighting around it and all the clear graphics. And then you have a super-size head-up display, which is great. And it has all the information in it that you could ever want. But let's get in the mid-row and third row and see what we could put in this Yukon. All right, guys, mid-row and third row time. This is where your passengers are gonna really be spoiled. I love the same seat quality. You have these ginormous armrests. This is how you do a captain's chair armrest, especially with the leather. I want to thank the cows that sacrificed their lives for this leather. Now on the backs of the screens, you have those awesome, backs of the seats, you have those awesome screens, full touchscreen, really nice to have that accessibility. And I like the way you could point it down for the shorter people in your lives. Pockets, you could keep, I don't know, maybe some magazines back here, maybe a book. You know, nobody likes to read anymore. Keep a book or two. You do have your elevation map, nicely done in the leather. And then we have a little command center, 2 cup holders, your AC controls, digital readouts, 3 stages of heated seats, 2 USB-Cs, 2 HDMIs, and home power source. I'm sitting here, I got my nice large 13-inch screen. I can watch whatever I want. Now what's cool about the screens is that, say I start to get hungry, instead of me saying, Mom, I want a Big Mac, you could actually, well, not you, but they can actually put into the infotainment system that they want to go to McDonald's and send the coordinates to you on the navigation. They don't even have to talk to you. So the good news too is that if they keep sending it to you and you're like, I'm not taking you to McDonald's, we're not going, we don't have time, you already ate lunch, you can eventually block them from sending it to you. So kind of cool. And plus, I think this is one of the greatest inventions, having entertainment back here, because I don't think any of the young people know what it's like to have to sit there and stare out the window and watch tumbleweeds. That was our entertainment when we were riding in my mom's 9-passenger station wagon. You just kept your mouth shut, because my dad would say, keep your mouth shut or I'm going to give you something to cry about. That's what he would say. He even says that to this very day when I go and visit him. Crazy. But lots of room. Obviously the seats, they do slide. They do recline, which is great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one up all the way. And I'm going to get into the third row. We're going to do this all in one movement. Steven didn't think we could do it. Look at that, Steven. We're doing it. We're doing it, Steven. Look at all that space. Come on in. How you been? Look how low my knees are. This is what I tell you guys. If you want to really bring comfort to your third row passengers, you got to go full size. USB-Cs, AC vents, and there's some nice soft vinyl. I don't think this black is leather. I would doubt it. I highly doubt it, but it is soft for your elbows back here. And you do have a cup holder and a little tiny holder for some Tootsie Rolls. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area and see what this Yukon Denali brings ultimate-wise compared to the Escalade. All right, guys, cargo area time. What's kind of nice is you do have easy access by being able to just open up the rear glass. If you just got to get something real quick. If you got to get something larger, then you got to open it all the way up. You hit the button. Nice electric assist. Rises up. You're going to be greeted to a generous amount of room. With the third row up, you're looking at 26 cubic feet of space. Fold the third row down, that gives you 72 cubic feet of space. Fold all the rows down, that gives you 122 cubic feet of space. I do like the way they have the nice stainless steel protection here, because you know your kids are going to drag their crap out of here. And if this wasn't here, it would scratch up the plastic. Underneath, you got plenty of room. Dump the boxes of Twinkies, Ho-Hos, cupcakes, ding-dongs, whatever you have. And I like the way the lid stays open. It's the simple things in life. On the passenger side, you're going to be gifted with a home power source. And then, of course, we have our switch gear to fold down the rear and mid row. Now, you'll notice 60-40. So we have a 60-40 split. I'm going to hit the button. Seat should fold down. Look at that. Nice and easy as long as everything else is sorted. Boom. Nice and flat. Steven's going to show off. There's those USB-Cs I was telling you about. And then, of course, that mid row will fold flat. And it's perfect because you know what? If you get kicked out of your house and you need a mobile condo, this is it. Get yourself an air mattress. We got a home power source. You get yourself a little fridge, maybe a blender, a couple other things, a coffee maker. and this could be your mobile home. Very nice. But I'm not sleeping in this thing. I'm going on throttle in it. Let's go take this Yukon Denali Ultimate for a spin and see how it stacks up to the mighty Escalade. All right, guys, we're inside this 2024 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. And one of the many reasons why I love this full-size SUV is just when you get out on the open highway, it rides and drives phenomenally. I mean, the amount of torque that you have is very linear. The suspension does such a good job. That magnetic ride with the air suspension is like a match made in heaven. Seats are very, very comfortable, very supportive. You got lots of storage room and easy access to the infotainment system. Now, like I mentioned before, we do have Blue Cruise. I turn it on, and there is our hands-off autonomous driving. One of the best in the industry, and if you're going on a longer haul, this really will make life a lot easier for you. It actually changes lanes because it knows the car in front of me is going slower than what I want to go, and it actually changed lanes all by itself. I've learned to not freak out anymore. At first, when I first started using Super Cruise on different GM products, I'll be honest, I got a little freaked out. But now, as you can see, it's easy peasy. Love all the materials, the storage, you got your digital rear view mirror, and you got great visibility no matter where you're looking. But it's all about the comfort. And that's where this is really getting into the world of the Escalade when it comes to the luxurious appointments, the leather, the stitching, the technology, but also the comfort with full massage. And what's great about it is I can access the massage setting to my seat very, very easily by hitting the button on the side, and it allows me to really feel at home and relaxed, even behind the wheel going down the highway. On top of that, both your mid-row passengers and your third-row passengers are going to feel like you care about them because there's plenty of space, plenty of amenities, and everything else that they need. But it really is mind-blowing how GMC has been able to close the gap. I mean, even a regular Yukon, if you could even call a Yukon Denali regular, even a Yukon Denali brings a lot, but really they take it up to the next level by adding that word ultimate, because this really is an ultimate kind of experience being in this vehicle. Sound deadening material is great. You got acoustic windshield, thicker side glass, the chassis is more rigid, you got 4x4, different drive modes. I mean, I really don't know what else you could possibly need that the Escalade brings besides the name. I know some people really need that name. If somebody says, hey, what kind of car do you drive? You want to be able to say Escalade. Although I still feel Yukon Denali brings a lot of panache with it as well. So these are interesting things to think about. What's nice is you could disengage the system very, very easily and then get your hands back on the wheel. The torque from the V8 is fantastic. And the way the car, this SUV handles, even though it's larger, it feels really good. All right, guys, I want to show you how this SUV handles, and it's going to surprise you. I mean, brakes feel phenomenal. Look at this. Round and round and round we go. I feel like an FBI agent or CIA. On throttle, here we go. That V8 linear torque delivery. Love the clear graphics and fonts on the digital gauge cluster, and you get a nice sound out of it. I mean, that's really what's fantastic, is that they've been able to take this cumbersome vehicle and make it not so cumbersome, to where it handles well, drives well, and you have a 10-speed automatic. I mean, look at this. You ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. On the Radies Rides test track, look at the grip. all that grip. Really allows you, like I said, if this thing was all blacked out, people would probably think you're the CIA coming after them or the FBI. But nice to show, very little body roll, even for a 6,000 pound behemoth, very little body roll, very little nosedive. That's the magnetic ride suspension and the air suspension working together harmoniously. And that's what you get out of it, is amazing handling characteristics, even for a big hug-a-lug like this thing. You ready? On throttle. Really, really nice. The power gets to the ground so well. Obviously, it's rear-wheel drive bias with the power hitting the front wheels and tires as well. And just, I don't know, man. It's like this thing does it all. And then, of course, you could take it out on your hot date and feel really good valeting this thing. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. We need to wrap this up in this Yukon Denali Ultimate. So I will see you in a mega second. All right, guys, we beat the storm. It's picking up. The winds are picking up. They're saying there's a tornado warning, but you know what? We got to thank everybody at GMC for getting us access to this 2024 Yukon Denali Ultimate. One of my favorite SUVs, period. And I don't even need an SUV like this, but boy, do I want an SUV like this. But let me know what you think. Enough about me. Let me know what you think. Are you going to go Escalade, or are you going to go Yukon Denali Ultimate and save some of that mucho dinero in your pocket? Put it in the comment section what you think. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rise family. We need to give it up. Stephen Flood, he got himself lube oiled and filtered, got a massage, got some personal training and some physical therapy done, because you know what? He wants to bring the best of the angles, especially when we got big, bad mamma jammas like this one. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for taking care of not only your body, your mind, but also your soul. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.